Recently, we've been getting more and more NBA draft news, and myself, I've been more and more surprised, though I guess I shouldn't be, because the NBA draft can be one of the most exciting and unpredictable times of the NBA. But you see, this draft, it's not like last year's draft. There's not a consensus number one. There's no Zion Williamson, there's no LeBron James, which means that this season is all the more exciting because for every great number one overall pick, there's that one that doesn't pan out. And I mean, let's be real. Just because there's a consensus number one, that doesn't mean you're going to be a superstar. You still have to work for everything the moment you step into the NBA. Because those coaches and those players, some of them, they don't care where you were drafted. Once that clock starts ticking, you better make the most of your time. Because if you don't, somebody else will. How often have we seen number 2, number 3, number 4 overall picks all go on to outplay that of a number 1 overall pick? And don't get it confused, there's gems in the second round too. Don't get me started on Draymond. While we're here, let's talk about the Bay. Let's talk about the Golden State Warriors. A team that last season, they were competing for everything in the biggest game despite tragedy happening in the postseason and throughout the season. This is a team looking to retool and get back to playing in the biggest game with the biggest players and some of the top stars in the NBA. Look, I've learned my lesson from doubting Steph Curry. I'm not going to be the one to say the Warriors can't do it, but I'm going to be the one to say that if they hit a home run in this draft, they make their lives a heck of a lot easier. Before we go any further, be sure to subscribe and turn on notifications. You will not want to miss another D-Coop video. And that's facts. If you love football, be sure to subscribe to my NFL channel. The link is in the description below. Also, be sure to follow me on IG handle GLikeCoop. Before we go forward, let's do a quick rewind. A few days ago, I made a video on Obi Toppin and his parents' request to play for the Golden State Warriors. You guys quickly let me know that some of you absolutely love the idea of Obi playing alongside Steph Curry, Draymond Green, and Klay Thompson in the Bay, while some of you weren't so high. And I guess I can now understand why after doing much more research and digging. I really don't want to release who I like or love from this draft until I drop my mock draft. If you get this video to 1,000 likes, I'll drop it first thing next week. But as it stands, I guess I could give you guys a little preview. Obi is a flat out beast. He's one of the most polished players in the draft, if not the most polished. But as it stands, Obi can become a little mechanical with his movement at times, and that could be worrisome translating to the next level in the NBA. But he's an absolute freak athlete who plays above the rim, absurd explosiveness, and a good jump shot. Obi would be absolutely fine in Golden State. He'd be able to play a role and perhaps develop at his own pace. Tweeners were once undesirable in the NBA, but as it stands, not the case anymore. As we transition to positionless basketball, I feel like tweeners become more and more desirable. In my Obi video, a lot of you guys wanted the Warriors to get LaMelo Ball, you wanted them to get Anthony Edwards, and you wanted them to get James Wiseman, which I get 150%. I've seen James Wiseman compared to players like David Robinson. A lot of people, they call this guy Anthony Davis light. Some people, they see Miles Turner. What I see is a blend of AD and Miles Turner. With absurd athleticism and an elite second jump, this is somebody that has the length to be very good at the NBA level. And that's going off of raw talent alone. Worst case, what are we looking at? Mitchell Robinson? This guy is also very skilled, very fluid, very mobile. He could be literally anything at the NBA level. I think Wiseman doesn't have a ceiling. Assume Wiseman, for whatever reason, gets to the NBA, doesn't improve at all. He's just a rim runner like JaVale McGee was for the Warriors. Say what you want, but McGee on the Warriors was a problem. Hey man, at least to me, he was a rim protector, he was a high energy player, and he was a surge of energy. Oh yeah, and did I forget he was a big time lob target, which when you play on teams with spacing like this, you're going to get a lot of easy baskets, especially if you're a competent finisher, let alone one of the best in the nation. Now I feel like we're really starting to get going. If you guys wanted to talk about untapped potential, you should have just said so. Let's talk about LaMelo Ball. NBADraft.net compares this point guard to Penny Hardaway. He has the size and the length that many GMs covet at the point guard position. A very good athlete that's been improving every year, and we haven't even begun to talk about his best traits. Everybody thought going into the NBL he would be a bona fide scorer. Well, he is, but the thing is that his playmaking is on an even higher level. When I watched LaMelo play in the NBL, I saw him make passes that I didn't even know were possible. It's like he sees the game 5 steps in advance. He knows the tendencies of his teammates and he knows where to get them the ball. These are signs of a great floor general. For somebody that's got the label of being selfish, he showed me he was much more than that. He showed me he's somebody with superstar potential that could fill it up on any given night, that has the creativity and the flash, but also doesn't lack substance. Elite pick and roll player, high level finisher who's been improving every year. He's got some pop in his bounce that he uses along with his creativity to keep the defense off balance. In the NBA, Melo's going to be somebody that's going to be on triple-double watch every night. He goes up and he grabs boards with the bigs. He's not afraid to get his hands dirty, no empty stats here. While his defensive consistency can use improvement, when he's locked in, he's a terror in the passing lanes. Melo also needs to work on his jump shot. When he's hot, but when he's cold, he's freezing. Too inconsistent at the moment, but it's a problem that's fixable. So after all of that promise I just sold you guys on, you would think this is the part of the video where I tell you that the Warriors and LaMelo Ball or James Wiseman are perfect fits. Well, regardless of what I think, it doesn't matter, because reports came out that the Warriors are not high on LaMelo Ball or James Wiseman. They have their eyes set on another prospect. I guess when considering the Warriors didn't view D'Lo as a core piece going forward, it makes a tad bit of sense. A lot of LaMelo's strengths project to be the same as D'Lo's. According to multiple sources, the Warriors would only draft Wiseman or LaMelo if drafting them in a trade down for another team. Let's just assume the Warriors really do want Deni Avdija the most. What's he good at? You guys may have never heard of him, right? He's a very, very good prospect that is very well-rounded and fits what the Warriors like and love to do. This is somebody that is 6'9", 6'10", 6'8", around that area. He can grab the board, he can push it off the break. He's a point forward, he has that capability, he can handle it. He can shoot the ball once he's hot. He's not the best shooter right now, but he's not the worst. He has promise. He loves pull-up jumpers, somebody that shows the capability to create their own shot at the next level. And most importantly, possibly for the Warriors, he has the ability to switch multiple positions. This is somebody that has the defensive IQ, knows rotations, knows where to be. And once they lock in on the defensive end, they're an absolute problem. This is somebody that's drawn comparisons to Luka Doncic. And I'm not saying that he can't be as good as Luka one day, even though that's an incredibly high bar. I'm saying perhaps we should let this player develop on his own. At times, I see some of Nicholas Batum in his game. This is a point forward who, placed in the right situation, can become an absolute problem. When you watch him play and you watch his high-level feel of the game and you watch his polish at such a young age, you can see why the Warriors are enamored by the way this player plays the game of basketball. You add this with his size and it's all very impressive. Now, of course, Deni isn't the only player that the Warriors have interest in. A rumor is circulating that the Warriors are likely to draft my favorite prospect in the draft at number 1 overall. I'd like to know who you guys would draft at number 1 overall if you were the Warriors and there were no trades. The Warriors apparently absolutely love Anthony Edwards, and it's obvious to me the reasons that they do. This guy is explosive. He's built, his game looks NBA ready right now. But the thing is, a lot of players, when their game looks NBA ready, sometimes you can't see the potential. I see the potential. This guy has the handle, he has the bounce, he has the jump shot that makes you double think passing on him. Okay, well, let me take things back a notch. The jump shot isn't all the way there, but he's so explosive at attacking the basket, I'm not sure it matters. You can work on your jump shot, you can become a better shooter, but a lot of the natural things that Anthony Edwards has, you cannot teach. We're talking about somebody with a go-getter mentality, gets to the rim at will, finishes with contact, maybe even better the more contact there is. He's drawing comparisons from Dwayne Wade and Donovan Mitchell. This is somebody that blocks shots very well for a guard, somebody that has the athleticism to translate defensively at the NBA level. This is the type of player that if you pass on, you may instantly regret it, and I would not want to be the GM that did. I'm truly trying my best to bring you guys topics that are worth discussing. Do you guys think these reports are accurate? Do you think the Warriors would be making the right decision going Edwards or Denny? Let me know down in the comments below. I mean, hey, who doesn't love a good smoke screen? Almost forgot, shout out to Melo for buying the Hawks. That's looking long term, that's a boss move. That's a major move for the NBL, and I can't wait to see if they get more prospects. Be sure to click the video on the screen right now, guys. You won't want to miss it. It's incredibly dope. Be sure to subscribe. Noti's on. I'm D Coop, and I'm out.